So now have you got the point? Preposition phrase should not be separated from what it modifies by any punctuation. So A and B wrong. For letter C and D, there is no any mistake, but we have comma. If you continue reading, you will find we have title and then name. So between the title and the name, we don't use like that, title and the name. So the title Farmer and the name Wilson. So between them, we don't need any punctuation. That means this is comma is misusing or unnecessary. So delete C, so letter D is correct. Understood?
Yes.
Always raise the voice. Number 2.
Yes.
Of course,
Okay.
I must the sentence from the beginning to the end and then come back. Simply, it's the same trick. Here we have preposition phrase, so we don't need punctuation there. So letter J is wrong. You should not separate the preposition phrase. So there is no comma here. We don't need. Here it's the same. We don't need. So it must be letter F. So from the chapter of phrases, should not separate the preposition phrase from what modifies. When you read in English, just check the rules. Preposition phrase, no punctuation. Preposition phrase, no punctuation. But sometimes we can add additional information as non-essential information. We need 2 commas. But you don't have 2 commas here. If you think that the G correct, simply check it. Delete the non-essential information and check. A history in when. So Bentley made a history in when. How? This means we need all of it as a whole unit as a phrase. So it must be like that. So F correct. Now it's your turn. Read and answer 3.
A. Letter A.
Do you think it's a letter A? Do you have explanation? Let's answer this one together. If we ask you for addition to add details, it must be related to the main idea of the paragraph. So to help you, we give you the reasons. So let's read the reasons. It refers to the addition, not to the paragraph, not to the previous sentence, not to the text, to the addition only. So does this information establish a timeline for the study? What is the timeline for the study? The timeline of publishing, not the study. So he is wrong. Because it establishes that Bentley was influenced by Kepler's work. There is no that. Where? He's wrong. Letter C, it detracts. Detracts means it deviates. It blurs. It's out of the essay's focus. Now we check the focus. Is it about on Bentley and his photo micrographs? Yes, she mentioned here. So the test maker wants you to check the main idea of the paragraph very closely. So letter C correct. this information out of the essays, folks. But wait, D, it detracts from the essays focus, correct, but not on the farm. The main focus, it's not about Bentley's farm environment. He mentioned the job as a farmer, but the main idea is different. So this means letter D is wrong. This is the way of testing you for adding or deleting idea. Check the results. Number 4, and let me answer it. Of course, I must read from the beginning to the end. So from the time he was 15. So from the time when he was 15. So here we're missing the relative pronoun when. And as I told you, we have the right to use it or not. So subject verb. Bentley used a microscope and examined. If you want to use and as compound predicate, verb, verb must be the same, not past simple, not gerund. So F wrong. Letter G, he delete the word and. So he used a microscope examining, wrong. This is verb. Who or what is examining the microscope or Bentley? Bentley. So we need comma. So the beginning is wrong. This is the way of how to think it's wrong. Another mistake about using and. If you want to use compound by and, it must be the same. So examining and finding correct. Okay, but who is examining or what is examining? Bentley, not microscope. So you need comma. So wrong. Do you understand?
Yes.
For letter H, Bentley used a microscope to examine, correct, and finding. No parallelism. Infinitive, gerund. There must be parallelism. Here, infinitive, look, and then comma, and then present participle phrase. So why J correct? Because the structure of the sentence. Number 1, we have phrase and the clause at the beginning. No problem. You can add any information as phrases. Comma, start your sentence. And at the end, you can use comma and then phrase. So no problem. Information here refers to phrases or clauses. Remember, phrase or phrases. If you wanted to use at the end of the sentence phrase, it can be. But if it is present participle phrase, you need comma. That's why we have comma. Plus, there are many mistakes in the other answers. Again, this is phrase start with present participle phrase, verb. Who or what did this verb? The subject of the sentence, Bentley. That's why we have comma. So the subject of this phrase is done by the same subject. So who is going to find Bentley? So we need comma, so J correct. Always memorize the common mistakes. Number 5. Let me tell you, we have a skill in English in your test. It's called don't repeat the same meaning by different words. Don't repeat the same meaning by different words. Now, document means record. So we already have it. So be wrong. So document to record, same meaning. Here, handwriting, already we know it's by hand. Why should you repeat the phrase? So no repetition for the same meaning. Letter A, there is no any repetition. Do we have any repetition from the beginning to the end? No, nothing. So A is correct. Number 6, we test you for idioms. This is a chapter. You know idioms, preposition phrases, structures, fixed expressions, especially with preposition, phrasal verbs sometimes. So it's an idioms in favor of plus noun or verb plus ing. So after of, we need verb plus ing as present participle, or we need noun. So it's a letter G. Understood?
Yes.
Is a point. Now number 7. What is it?
I don't know.
It's not about you don't know, just like try to check. Let me help you. Or if you have a note, you must write it down. Let's follow the rules. If you wanted to use semicolon, before and after must be complete sentence. So, change it please. Now here, complete sentence, semicolon, complete sentence, full stop, correct. So you must check is complete sentence or not fragment. Now let's check. Infinitive phrase, comma, subject, verb, it's correct. But after the comma, this part, it's a fragment. If you check it, you will find it fragment. Delete the phrases, delete the clause, the relative clause, you will find it's fragment. How? Simply, preposition phrase, present participle phrase, and then the rest of the information. Is this part a sentence? No, so it's a fragment. So the second clause after semicolon, not complete sentence. So D is wrong. The rule of dash, it must be complete sentence. But after it can be complete or not, I don't care. But it must be explanation. Explanation to something mentioned before. Do you imagine? Now let's check. Is before the calling complete? Yes. Before the calling or dash? Remember, calling equals single dash, by the way. So it's the same. Dash must be explanation. Before complete, it's a correct subject and the verb, and then complements to complete the meaning. How about the information after the dash? It's explanation to something mentioned before the dash. Yes, this is a definition. So what is plus cameras? Use the plus cameras. What's that? Portable camera with heat extension. So it's like definition, like a positive phrase. So letter C correct. Letter B, the same rule as D. Before semicolon correct, but this part to the end fragment. Why? The verb phrase is mistaken. We don't have helping verb. This is being correct. This has been correct. But being only, the verb is not correct. Or the verb phrase has a mistake. How about A? We have a rule in English says complete sentence, comma, complete sentence, full stop, wrong. Here we have complete and here subject and verb. That represents subject. Is verb, so complete sentence, comma only between two complete sentences. We call it in English comma splice mistake, so A is wrong. Remember the rules because it is repetitive. Number 8, it's not rules, it's a content. Please read and answer.
G.
So number 8 is a J, not a G.
Yes.
So do you know interrupt means distract? Description of the camp. That is right. So know how to do it. We give you reasons. For number 9, it is the same as we did before, but let's do it. When I read from the beginning to the end, remember sometimes I must look at the answers first. Found the punctuation, so you should read the sentence only. Bentley would collect, comma, put, comma, and so it's a list. And you remember the list, all of them must be the same. Here infinitive, this one must be infinitive, so A is wrong. So I must start with infinitive here, so infinitive. And here gerund wrong, so infinitive, infinitive. So letter D. It is called the parallelism as we did. Number 10, it's a pronoun as we did. And don't trust the pronouns. Collecting the snowflakes wasn't easy simple. Now the sentence. To cushion, it is infinitive phrase. To cushion the snowflakes fall, Bentley called them. So we are talking about snowflakes. So it's a plural. Your I is before the apostrophe. So it is plural. So we need plural. It's singular, 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 wrong. Now it's your turn, number 11.
Letter A.
So 11, it's not A. How it's A? If you read carefully, this is fragment. Check. Do you have subject and verb? Delete the phrases. Infinitive phrase, preposition phrase. That's a sentence. If using a verb, you need subject. So it's a fragment. If using gerund as a subject, you need verb. So by all means, it's a fragment. So is wrong. Here it's the same. Here is the same. Because I delete the phrases already. But here in letter B, as I told you, subjective pronouns, I, he, she, it, or personal pronouns, it's a subject. So he subject and use the verb and then complements. Same meaning. So it's a letter B. Now it's a content your turn.
G.
I think it's G, so what G? It's a G, correct? And there is no Y. We have already Y. But check it. So productivity as he did. So GT is correct. Now number 13 is the same rules. Complete sentence, comma, complete sentence, full stop, wrong. Complete sentence, comma, fanboys, complete sentence, full stop, correct. Let's check. Subject, verb. And then accentuating, comma, and then phrase. So it must be letter A. Because the structure, complete sentence, comma, and then present participle phrase, full stop, correct. And this verb is done by the subject of the clause, so it's correct. So what or who accentuating the details of the photographed method? So that means A structure correct, as we memorize. Letter B correct, wrong, because we need comma as fanboys. Complete sentence and then complete sentence. So it is wrong. Here comma splice mistake, so wrong. Letter B is a trap. This is a trap. If you want to use ing, must be the subject of the previous clause, not the word before. If it is the word before, it can be without comma. But here, accentuating the method, not black. So you need comma. So it's A. That's it. Now I'm going to send you a new link. Think about 14 until I send.